The bosses are wearing me out. No more sunglasses, Greg. And we need stars in the open of every show? I mean, I gotta look for stars, I guess. Whoa, what is that? Gonna get in trouble again, I guess. D-Row?
Come on, Zinger. I'm here to talk about all things White Sox. 30 clubs in 15 days starts now. Roll the open.
Welcome, everyone, to 30 Clubs in 15 Days, presented by T-Mobile, coming to you from beautiful Glendale, Arizona, Camelback Ranch, the spring home of the Chicago White Sox. This is a show that is supposed to be all positive, uplifting, but reality is what it is. This club set an MLB record with 121 losses last year, and we are ready to talk about the pale hose and not be so pale while we do it. It's Greg Amsinger and Mark DeRosa alongside for this Cactus League journey. D-Row, how does a club turn this around with patience immediately after losing 121 games?
Yeah, I think we talked about it off the air. This is a completely different roster, Greg. I mean, last year you had guys like Dylan Cease, you were talking about Michael Kopech, the list goes on, Eloy Jimenez. Those guys are no longer here. Chris Getz had to make some hard decisions to try to revitalize this rebuild. He's got a new manager in Will Venable. There's a different vibe in here, a different culture being brought into the White Sox camp.
Put yourself in the shoes of a Will Venable. You think you're the heir to the throne of the 2023 World Series champion Texas Rangers, learning from Bruce Bochy. Hard to get one of these 30 jobs. So this came open. He had a great meet and greet with Chris Getz. Now he's the new manager of a White Sox team. He's never been a big league manager before. What do you think his checklist is when he comes to camp?
Yeah, I think he's seen a World Series champion and how that's built and how that's done with Bruce Bochy, but I also think there's something pretty sexy about just getting in on the ground floor of a rebuild, all the young stars, all the young prospects here, and kind of start to put his fingerprints on something and build 2 to 3 years from now.
A year ago, I was here at this camp, and I was talking to Chris Getz, a young GM, and he was the busiest front office executive in all of baseball in 2024. A year ago, it was all about Dylan Cease. Where is he going to be treated? Keep him healthy, bring in Martin Maldonado to catch him so you can get the most for him. He had no idea that Garrett Crochet was going to become the #1 arm to move. What did you make of the timing of moving him to the Boston Red Sox?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. He created this deadline almost at the winter meetings where you felt like it was palpable. He was going to move. There was going to be 2 big things that were going to happen. It was going to be Juan Soto and it was going to be Garrett Crochet. And going into last season, I don't think anyone truly realized. We knew he had the stuff to be a frontline guy, but was he going to become that? And as the season progressed, he certainly became that. And what an impact trade Chris Getz was able to make. Let's listen to him talk about it. Front office insights presented by Sage.
So, you know, in season, you've got the trade deadline, right?
Yeah.
It's a built-in deadline that creates all this urgency and kind of it just provides a lot of clarity. Teams have to decide whether they're in or they're out. The offseason is a little bit different. Creating kind of the soft deadline at the winter meetings, knowing that, you know, front offices are there, some ownerships are there, there's a lot of immediate tension. So I told teams, you know, we're probably going to get something done. And then, you know, when I got a text from Breslow pretty late that he was motivated to get something done. We connected the following morning, and boom, we were able to get that thing to the finish line. And, you know, I think both sides, you know, I think are really happy. And
could be win-win for both, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the idea, right? I mean, Garrett Crochet was a very good pitcher for us. He's going to be very good for the Boston Red Sox, and we're really excited about the players we have here in camp. So to get, you know, Kyle Teal, Braden Montgomery, you throw a Mydroth in there, and then Wickelman Gonzalez, it's a big arm. It's a big deal for us, and I just love being around these guys right now.
I mean, there's still a guy who walks out to the batting cage in a White Sox uniform that plays the superstar role, and he looks good in spring so far. Luis Robert.
Yeah, Louis gotten a ton of attention. And I say that because he's got superstar ability. And for us, we just got to keep this guy in the field. And, what he does on the defensive side, the amount of power he has, his plate discipline, if that improves, I mean, we're looking at an all-star type player, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't garner some MVP votes.
What did Will Venable say to you in the interview process when he walked out? You were like, this is the guy.
Yeah, Will, gosh, I mean, every time I interact with him, I'm impressed. There's always a takeaway. He's so clear-minded, even-tempered. Communication skills are just off the charts. He's just an easy guy to listen to and trust. He's a guy that everyone wants to support because he's got the right intention. He's intelligent. He's got the skill set to be great at being a manager in the major leagues.
Well, you're an easy guy to listen to and trust to. I wish you the best.
30 clubs in 15 days presented by T-Mobile continues from Glendale, Arizona, the spring home of the Chicago White Sox. They have a center fielder who's one of the most talented players in the game. His name is Luis Robert, and he joins us now alongside his interpreter, Billy. Luis, you are tearing the cover off the ball right now in spring training. How good do you feel at the plate?
No, en verdad, ahora mismo me siento bastante.
Honestly, right now I feel pretty good. Just working on hitting and swinging the pitch in the strike zones, and that's something that I'm really working on.
How has it been lately, the last couple of years, to watch so many friends get traded away to other teams?
I've been used to it. I think it's part of the business. It's something that you have to understand too.
Are you recognizing that all 29 teams are watching you play closely at this stage of your career?
Yes, I know. I know that the situation that the team is right now. There are a bunch of other teams that looking at me and looking at the talent in this team, and it's a possibility. I know that there's a possibility there.
I watch you all the time. I'm a big fan of yours. What do you think is the most overlooked asset of your game?
I don't know. I think I can make an impact in every part of the game, but I don't know exactly what part can be overlooked.
I think you're base running. My personal opinion, you can fly on the bases. We don't talk about it enough. We know you're a Gold Glover. We know you got power, but you can run, my friend.
Yeah.
So I kind of answered it for you. Is that cool? Yeah.
Good.
All right. Luis Robert, have a great year, okay?
Thank you.
All right, D-Ro, who are you with?
All right, I'm here with the future. We're trying to come up with a nickname because every place I look, there's another monster prospect. I got Kyle Teal and I got Colson Montgomery right here. Take me through it. You guys are the future of this team. I know you got to honor and respect the veterans that are in the clubhouse, but you got to feel like something's starting to build in Glendale with the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you can look around all big league camp and you just see all the young talent, and I feel like that's a big thing that the fans and everybody can look forward to. And also we have a lot of really good veterans who've had time, and they're kind of steering us in the right direction and everything. And I think it's a good little mix and good camaraderie going on right now, and I think it's a good chemistry.
What are we working on? Do we need to work on defense?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, I fixed up a lot of stuff in the fall league and at the end of the year with the bat, kind of just more decision-making stuff, because once my decision-making is good, I feel like everything starts flowing naturally. But defensively, I'm just trying to pretty much play with a little more urgency and things like that, because guys in the big leagues, they get down the line faster.
Yeah.
I mean, and they hit the ball a lot harder at you, so it's pretty much just being locked in every single play. And I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of that.
And you've never not hit. Monster seasons, you were hot all at the end of the year last year. What are you working on in camp?
Yeah, I'm really focusing on my defense. That was my big focus this winter. Just really working on my receiving, keeping the goal is to keep the numbers high, be there for the pitchers, and then offense comes second, but still trying to give it all I got as a hitter too, it's very important to hit, so.
Okay, we're in a world of specialization right now with the young kids. I have a 15-year-old, and I am surrounded by 2 first-round picks. One almost scored 2,000 points in basketball. I was looking that up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mr. Basketball in Indiana, like Jimmy Chitwood over here. And you were quarterback of the football team, Mamaw High School. Take me through what from football has helped you in baseball, like doing the multi-sport thing.
I feel like it's definitely good for aggressiveness.
Boom.
Simple things like putting a tag on at the plate, not shying away, really not afraid to get your nose in there. Little stuff like that, just that aggressiveness is important.
And commanding a huddle.
Yeah, I mean,
Not afraid to speak your mind?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
On the flip side, basketball.
Yeah. I mean,
There's so many kids just like giving up everything. Like, you know, I'm just a baseball player. I'm just a football, but whatever that is. And when I look around these camps, the guys who play for a long time are multi-sport stars.
I mean, that's probably one of the first things I would say is play whatever you can, as long as you can. And I feel like what I'm able to do on the field, it translates pretty much everything with basketball.
I mean, did you ever just throw it on somebody?
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple times.
You were dunking?
A couple times.
Throw it on some
Couple
pitchers
times.
this year for the big boys, the prospects, of the White Sox, Montgomery, Teal. Back to you, Greg.
Dero, sometimes you feel like the biology teacher in high school where your old students come back and you just still do the same job, but they're like getting older and it's like weird. It ages us, right? Andrew Vaughn, 2019, 3rd overall pick in the draft. And now here you are, like a veteran on the squad. Andrew, is this weird for you or what?
Yeah, man, time flies. You know, it's been a crazy ride, but I've enjoyed every second of it.
You played a lot, and that's really all you can ask for when you start your big league career, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You know, my first year in 21, getting to come up, you know, learn the outfield, that was kind of cool. But just being able to be in the lineup is so special.
When you're in a lineup, not all lineups are created equal. How do you go about your role on this team offensively?
Yeah, you know, I just got to go up there and do what I can do. Not do anything more, not do anything less. Just go in there and put competitive at-bats together.
And how is it to be competitive on a team where you see all of your friends get traded nonstop? Is that a tough thing for you?
Yeah, you know, it's a business. It's baseball. Just got to go out there and I got to do my job, do what I can control.
And when you think of that, the number one goal for you this year, is it cut down on chase, higher on base? You want to increase your slug? What is it that you're looking at? Number one goal for you?
Yeah, I think it's all those things. You know, I think the one thing that kind of surrounds everything is just limit that chase. Just keep it in the strike zone and good things will happen.
It's amazing, man. They grew up so fast, Dero. So fast. 2019, drafted in the first round. That's Andrew Vaughn. Dero, who are you with?
All right, thanks, Greg. We're going to actually talk about White Sox pitching now. I'm here with Jonathan Cannon. As I walked in this morning, I had my Starbucks rolling, and I started to hear people whispering that your nickname was like the stopper. Every time you guys had a long losing streak last year, you were the guy that got on the mound and kind of shut the door and got you on a winning track. What does it take to kind of elevate yourself to be a frontline guy for this team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year was tough. We had, unfortunately, some losing streaks.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, my spot in the rotation came up a couple times during those losing streaks. I wish I could have stopped it beforehand, but that's just kind of every single time I go out there, I'm just trying to put my team in a position to win. I think as a starting pitcher, that's your job. Hand the ball over to the reliever in 6th, 7th, 8th inning and let them close it out.
What are you working on this spring? New pitch?
Yeah, I think this spring isn't really a new pitch for me. It's more of the execution, the sequencing, some of the higher level stuff that I started to get into at the end of the season last year, attacking lefties.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, what's the higher level stuff?
Yeah,
Not
so-
just the tunneling, but like what are you dialed in on?
Yeah, so like when you first get called up to the big leagues, it's like, okay, like let's just throw strikes. Like, let's stay in the zone. Let's not gift them free bags.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get that, and it's like, okay, like let's game plan a little bit. Like, what are we going to throw this guy? Like, how are we going to approach this guy? And now for me, it's like teams responded to my adjustments by throwing in 6, 7, 8 lefties in the lineup. So yeah, just kind of figuring out how to attack those guys. You know, messing around in the live at bats here, getting hitters' feedback is always important to me. So yeah, just looking to continue build off some of the success I had last year.
I appreciate it, man. Greg, you want to be humbled? Every time I walk into a big league camp, I think I'm a decent-sized guy. This guy's an absolute monster. Back to you.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
Welcome back to Camelback Ranch, beautiful Glendale, Arizona. Our continued coverage of 30 clubs in 15 days. And it's time now for the manager interview presented by Sage. I'm here with Will Venable. All right, man, I have to know, first time managing, you got to address the room. You got to address all the boys. First day, what's the message?
Yeah, you know what? We just kind of set some expectations for the clubhouse, for the field, and then we just wanted to talk about spring training and how we're going to use it to prepare for the season.
Talk to me about, you had a first row seat to one of the greatest managers the game's ever seen, Bruce Bochy. I had fortunate to play for him, got a chance to win a World Series with him. You the same. What did you learn from him that you will bring over here?
You said it. He's maybe the best of all time, and whether it's communicating with players, how he sets up practice schedules.
Yeah.
Some of the adversity stuff as far as addressing the team and getting guys in good spots. Just every step of the way, this guy's as good as it gets. So hope to be able to pick a couple things here and there from him. But I'd be lucky to do it as well as Boch does it.
Why is this a spot for you, Will? I mean, it's a total rebuild. There's a bunch of stud young players walking around, but why did you feel you were going to get a managerial job at some point? Why with the White Sox?
The idea of being on the ground floor and building something is attractive, and certainly just kind of going into the interview process and getting understanding for Getsy and his vision and seeing how much he's accomplished in the year. I have a full confidence that this organization is headed in the right direction, and it's exciting to be part of it.
All right, what do you believe in, man? What's Will Venable's philosophy? What does he want the White Sox to play like?
Right now it's just about going out and competing every day. I think kind of how that looks on a daily basis is going to be a result of who we have and how we are able to maximize our skill sets out there. But we just know we have to go out there and compete, and these guys are all on board, and it's been a good camp so far.
All right, so we open up some stuff to Twitter or X to ask some fan questions. I have one right here from the Sultan of Clout. Does Will Venable believe in bunting?
I do, sure.
We had to.
Yeah, I do believe in bunting. I believe in whatever is going to help us win a game, and certainly that there's going to be times when bunting is going to help us do that, and got to score runs any way we can, and bunts can help.
There's prospects all over this place. I had a chance to interview Colson Montgomery, Kyle Teal. Is there one that's kind of caught your eye a little bit more than the other?
Kyle Teal obviously sticks out just with the energy and what he brings every day.
Jersey guy.
Yeah, he's been amazing, and he can play too. Really good athlete, and just a good guy like the rest of them. So they're all really sticking out, really.
Good luck, man. I appreciate it. All right, and for
Thanks,
more
Steve.
on the prospect list, let's send it over to Jim Callis.
Thanks, Mark. Let's take a look at the White Sox farm system, one of the most improved in baseball over the last 2 years. We've got the top 2 left-handed pitching prospects in baseball in Noah Schultz and Hagen Smith. 2 guys who were the last 2 Red Sox first-round pick came over in the Garrett Crochet trade. That's Kyle Teal and Braden Montgomery, and then Colson Montgomery, who's a power-hitting shortstop kind of in the Corey Seager mold. If you want to check out our brand-new White Sox top 30 prospects list, head over to MLB.com/pipeline. I want to welcome in Braden Montgomery. Braden, thanks for joining us. And I asked you off camera, I'm going to ask you on camera, how's the ankle feeling? You broke your ankle late in the college season at A&M, right before the College World Series, right before the draft. How are you feeling? You good to go for the season, upcoming season?
Feeling great. Finally back to normal and ready for some ball.
So how strange is it, you get drafted by the Red Sox, 5 months later, you're a White Sox. Like, how did you find out about the trade, and how much did that catch you by surprise?
Yeah, I was just in the batting cages doing my normal daily stuff, and then got a phone call that there was a unique situation at the big league level, and they made some moves. So it just kind of, jump-started my welcome to pro baseball, just kind of seeing what the landscape is like. But it's awesome. I still get to play ball at the end of the day, so I'm happy.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here in Chicago. Really good farm system, a lot of interesting young players. Who's impressed you here in camp so far?
Yeah, I'd say everyone's been super impressive. I mean, it's my first experience with a bunch of major league guys, and so it's been super impressive to see everyone's work and see bits and pieces from everyone and see what they do well. I guess out of the prospects, I've really liked working with Edgar Caro. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name.
You got it right.
Yeah.
See? You got future in broadcasting.
So Q's been cool. But yeah, everybody's been awesome. It's been really good to gel with those younger guys and see where they're at.
Appreciate you joining us. So we're going to see a lot of these guys in the big leagues pretty soon. And back to you, Greg.
We're going to do this a little differently. Let's not mention where they're going to finish in the division. I think we know what the reality of the situation is, okay? So give me specific player-esque predictions for 2025 when it comes to the White Sox.
All right. Well, there's jobs to be had in this camp.
Okay.
And when I look back to the Garrett Crochet trade, obviously Kyle Teal, the Montgomery kid, they're the prizes. But I'm telling you, there's a guy here, Chase Mydroth. He's got a little bit of a Dustin Pedroia feel to him. You go back and look at his minor league numbers, guy's on base all the time. Someone like that's going to break camp and be an everyday guy, kind of hold in place until maybe a Colson Montgomery or a big prospect's available. But in the meantime, he gets his hack off. He ends up becoming an everyday guy for this White Sox team.
I like that. I'm glad you brought up Colson Montgomery, the shortstop. It was a great interview earlier in the show with him. I have Colson Montgomery breaking camp as the everyday shortstop of the White Sox, and there's incentive for that because he's going to finish in the top 3 for the American League Rookie of the Year race. Colson Montgomery's going to have a great first season in the big leagues. And I get it, I guess, a negative, but also kind of positive prediction. I think Luis Robert, who's raking right now here in the Cactus League, he's improving his stock. He's going to be traded to the Philadelphia Phillies by the end of May. Well before the trade deadline, Luis Robert will be traded to the Philadelphia Phillies, and they're going to get a king's ransom for him.
I like it.
All right, they're my predictions for the Chicago White Sox. For Mark DeRosa, my name's Greg Amsinger. That does it for 30 Clubs in 15 days, the Chicago White Sox edition. For more spring training coverage, log on to MLB.com.